As I covered in my most recent video, the Toronto and GTA real estate market has substantially cooled, and there's no question about that. And when I make videos such as that one or other videos on other platforms, or when I'm even speaking to my clients via my newsletter or my personal correspondences, often the viewers and clients of this channel always call me and ask me, "Hey Sam, are there any good deals out there? Hey Sam, we're looking for motivated sellers, distressed sales." So I thought, you know what, it would be a great idea for a video to take a look at motivated seller listings. That's right, listings on the market within the GTA and Toronto real estate market that have advertised as such. In the description or the remarks for brokers, they have stated motivated seller. That's exactly right. In today's video, I'm going to go through a couple of listings that are currently on the market at the time of recording of this video that are motivated seller listings. In other words, put distressed listings that have the potential to become a distressed sale. Now, of course, I can't take a look at the entirety of the GTA, so I have to select a certain boundary. So I thought, you know what, to stay consistent with this channel and what most viewers of this channel really care about, or most of my clients, let's take a look at the downtown Toronto condo market. But before we get into that, hello everyone, this is Sam from SaberiSixRealEstate and Remax Realtron Realty Inc. As always, back with another video for you guys here today. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Sam, a Toronto real estate agent, actively working on the behalf of buyers and sellers within the GTA real estate market. And on this channel, we like to discuss all things having to do with the Toronto real estate market, market trends, market stats, market reports, buyer advice, seller advice, pre-construction previews, condo reviews, area analysis, and so much more. So if you find any of this content informative or enjoyable, feel free to subscribe and give this video a like. Furthermore, if you have any other questions or further inquiries, feel free to get in touch with me. My contact information was just on the screen and it will be in the description box. Looking forward to hearing from you. So all in all, when I searched based on the key term or key phrase of motivated seller within the downtown Toronto core, there was about 83 to 88 listings that popped up. Once again, obviously, I'm not going to go through all 83 or 88. So I just selected 5 of those listings. And as always, my purpose on this channel is to take these listings, take this concept for this video and use it as a jumping off board to talk and inform you with regards to the different buildings, with regards to the different areas, and really give you more information with regards to the downtown Toronto condo market. So I just selected 5 at random and let's start. All right, let's start with the first listing. So one of the listings currently on the market within the downtown Toronto condo market that's being advertised as a motivated seller is this unit in 210 Victoria Street, unit 1816. It's been on the market for 62 days as we see, and it's currently asking for $850,000. 2 bedrooms and 2 washrooms, and the building itself, 210 Victoria Street, is an older building. It's called the Pantages. And from my experience, it's a pretty decent building. Let's take a look at the pictures of the unit first. As we see, not professional pictures whatsoever. And of course, something that is very common with this building overall, 210 Victoria Street, is it has angular floor plans. So you can see some of that here in the pictures, where there's kind of weird jagged or right angle floor plans. Nonetheless though, the washroom is in pretty great condition. It's a little bit more traditional. We see the second washroom, and we see some blurry photos of the outside and the lobby. Now, one of the things about 210 Victoria Street is that it's a very end-user friendly building, and the location is absolutely fantastic. There's no question about that. However, it is an older building, as I mentioned, and as a result, the maintenance is quite high. The approximate square footage of this unit is 1,000 to 1,200. When I investigated further, the exact square footage was 1,130. So per square foot, the maintenance is not ridiculously high. It's still on the higher end. But for a lot of buyers, especially in high interest rate environments, $1,000 for maintenance is a lot to take on. And another attribute that makes it a little bit difficult to sell, especially in today's market, is that it's currently tenanted. Now, of course, assuming tenants in any market is a risk, but especially in a high interest rate environment. Now here we see, according to the comments, must assume the great tenants, total rental value of $3,350. So the next motivated seller listing within the downtown Toronto condo market is a building we should all be familiar with, because I've done an extensive condo review of this building on this page, and I've often talk about this building, which is 197 Yonge Street. That's exactly right. We're looking at unit 1402 in 197 Yonge Street, currently on the market for $969,000. Once again, a 2-bedroom, 2-washroom. And let's take a quick look at the building and the photos. I've discussed the building quite a bit on this channel, so go check out my building review. All in all, I would probably have to say it's a decent building. It's not meant for the long term. If you're a younger individual who doesn't mind a lot of tenants in your building, a lot of partying, maybe on the higher end in terms of elevator wait times, but you want to take advantage of the location, you want to take advantage of the resale value and the investment value that a lot of investors see in this building, it might be a good purchase. Or if you're a tenant as well, it should be considered a layover more than a 5-year stay. But nonetheless, one of the issues I always have with this building is the layouts are very small. And this is a 2-bedroom, 2-washroom one. Once again, keep that in mind. And we went from a 2-bedroom, 2-washroom that was 1,100 square feet in the previous listing to now this is 800 square feet on the dot. And the location of the building is once again fantastic. And something about this building is that it's a column building, right? You see this column in all the layouts, especially the corner unit layouts, which has its good and its bad. One of the positives of this is it's a very, very bright building. Most of the building has floor to ceiling windows, and this particular unit is located lower on the building, so on a lower floor, the 14th floor. But the views of this building for the higher end floors, the 50th, the 40th plus floors, is amazing, especially if you can get a southern exposed unit. And at the asking price of $969, I must say, in my professional opinion, they're overpriced by a small amount. Most of the 2-bedroom layouts in this building, not the 2+1s, but the flat 2-bedroom layouts in this building, are the O2 units, so units that end with O2. And most of the O2 units that have gone on sale, whether it's 50 O2, whether it's 25 O2, of course you have to make the adjustments for the height differences and all the other attributes that might be different in terms of finishings inside the unit, locker and parking. But putting those aside, most of the O2 units have failed to sell in this building. And the last sale was actually in May of 2023, when the market was substantially hotter than it is now. And that sale occurred around $975 to $980, if my memory serves me correct. I just want to take a quick moment and pause to say, if you enjoy this video, I'm actually going to be attempting more live streams. Right now I'm working on my live stream setup, so tell me if you want me to cover these motivated sellers, properties that have dropped their prices, or properties that have failed to sell at bidding war. These kind of interesting ideas, if you think it's a good idea for me to maybe live stream these more so as I go through the market on a bi-daily or once a week basis, versus if you would like to see a video such as this, more of an edited and produced video. Let me know in the comments. Let's take a look at 45 Charles Street, unit 1109, which is the next listing I found in downtown Toronto that was promoting itself as motivated sellers. Now, unlike the other previous 2 listings, this is a 1+1, not a 2-bedroom with 2 full washrooms, listed at $728,000. Now, interestingly enough, this listing actually fulfills another criteria that I use to determine more of a distressed sale, which is it's a product of a failed bidding war. So this price of $728,000 you see here was not the original price. They initially listed this at $699,000 to attempt to induce a bidding war. Whatever happened on bidding night, I don't know. They might have received no offers. They might have received a couple of offers that were weak, or just one offer that was really weak. Nonetheless, they did not sell it on offer night, and they have attempted now to relist it on the market, or in other words, increase the price of the original listing to now $728,000, which is what they deem to be fair according to their own market comps. And 45 Charles Street is a kind of a controversial building. I mean, it's kind of overhyping it to call it controversial. It's not as if we're talking about politics here, but within condos, I would say on Charles Street, in my professional opinion, I preferred over some of its sister buildings across the street, 42 Charles Street East and 50 Charles Street East. Now, don't get me wrong, on Charles Street East, this is by far not the best building. I would not call it the best building. I think, for instance, the XO condos, so 101 Charles Street East and 110 Charles Street East, are better than this. Furthermore, there is the hidden gems of 88 and 80 Charles Street East. I think those are very old buildings that don't have much appreciation value, but they're very prestigious buildings that are hidden gems on Charles Street. Charles Street is a very condo-rich street for such a small street in the grand scheme of things, and I actually made a short video on Charles Street by itself on my Instagram, so go check that out. I'll link it in the description. Nonetheless, though, 45 I would say is a middling building within the context of Charles Street. And let's take a closer look at the unit here that is advertised as motivated. Here we go, 45 Charles Street East. The lobby is pretty good looking, and much like the previous building we covered, as we go through the photos of the amenities and the common areas here, pretty good in that sense. If this is your cup of tea, I'm usually a person who prefers less amenities, but that's just my own personal tastes. And if a client were to ask me to instruct them, I would say, hey, aim for a building that has less amenities, but a lot of people love amenities here. So here we're starting to see the unit here, the washroom, the entrance. Much like the previous building that I got sidetracked, I was about to finish my sentence. It has somewhat of awkward layouts. So right, the layouts are a little bit angular. It has the column again, much like 197 Yonge. It is functional, but it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. The floor to ceiling windows is always a plus. And this unit actually looks in pretty good condition, where the finishings are pretty good. You can tell the owners have taken care of this unit, and whether it's staging furniture or the owner's own furniture, it's laid out pretty well with a lot of thought. And I must say, at $728,000, it's actually priced very well and very, very competitively. There's always room to negotiate on price, especially if a listing is advertising as motivated. There's always room. However, I would say that this is pretty fair to start, because some of the comps in this building that also didn't have parking as well, right? This doesn't have parking. Most of the comps in terms of 1+1s have been selling in the mid 750s as of August and July. Now we're in September, of course, different market conditions, but the market hasn't moved substantially either direction, at least as of yet. Okay, let's continue to the next listing. Here we have a unit in 75 Queens Wharf, one of the City Place condos, yet another building that I've discussed multiple times, not particularly here on YouTube, but on my other social media platforms more so. We have unit 3602 that's been on the market for 24 days, asking for $699,000. All in all, it's a 1+1 with one washroom. The exact square footage is 748 square feet. I know these units pretty well, the O2 buildings. I know the O2 units pretty well, and last I checked for another unit, it was around 750 to 748. And unfortunately, this listing doesn't have many pictures of the interior available. It's just the pictures of some water views and the basketball court. The building does have a basketball court, the amenities in terms of the theater and the pool and everything, but no pictures of the unit. And that's because most likely it's tenanted. And once again, when you're selling a tenanted unit in any market, but particularly in a cool market such as we have right now, it's going to be exceptionally harder. That is so unless the tenants are very much so cooperating, which if you screen tenants well, you'll always find cooperating tenants. And even if they're very qualified tenants in terms of credit or employment information, when it comes down to sell, if it's during the duration of their lease or it's even towards the end of the lease, if they so choose, they can be difficult about the process. Now, the listing price of $699,000 as we have it here is not the listing price that they want to sell at, right? Once again, this is a bidding price. However, unlike the previous listing we went through where they failed the bidding attempt on offer night and they relisted at a higher price or increased their price, these guys still haven't done that yet, which puts into question how much of a motivated sale is it really, because the listing, as is with the theme of this video, does state motivated seller and there is potential for getting a good deal here. But the fact that they have not adjusted their price in retrospect of a failed bidding war perhaps does indicate a little bit of a stubbornness or maybe bad advice. I don't know. And out of all the Queens Wharf buildings, because 75 Queens Wharf is not the only Queens Wharf building. You have 75, you have 80, you have 88 Queens Wharf, you have 85 Queens Wharf. I would probably have to say 75 Queens Wharf is the second best Queens Wharf building. The best, in my professional opinion, is 80 Queens Wharf, which I might be biased because I just purchased a unit. Well, I say I purchased a unit about a month ago in 80 Queens Wharf from one of my buyers, which was also a distressed sale, which was also a motivated seller. We got that around $70,000 to $90,000 below market value to my estimate, but nonetheless, 80 Queens Wharf is the best Queens Wharf building. I would probably have to rank 75 as the second best. Once again, just my professional opinion. That's it. To end the video, let's take a look at a building in Liberty Village, particularly the building of 50 Ordnance, Unit 215, yet another listing downtown that was advertising as a motivated seller. Here we have the listing price of $749,000. All in all, it's a 1+1 with 2 washrooms, 1 parking, and the exact square footage is in the 690s, if I recall correctly. Now, I know this building quite well as well. In fact, I know most of the buildings I discussed on this channel quite well. And the problem with this building, I mean, it has certain issues, like every building has certain positive attributes, but one of the main problems is that western exposed units in this building are going to face construction of one of the last towers that's coming to the Ordnance Streets to Liberty Village. That is to say, the western exposed units are obstructed in terms of view. And as we take a look at the unit itself, we see that the unit is pretty good in terms of layout for the size, right? Now, one of the attributes, I would say positive attributes of 50 Ordnance is it has smaller 2 bedrooms. That's not the positive part. I know that sounds weird, but for the size, the 2 bedrooms I've seen in this building make really good use of the space. That also goes to a certain degree for the 1+1s. Although this 1+1 here, the layout is seeming a little bit awkward as I go along in the listing. But you see, you know, a unit such as this with this type of view, slow, low to the ground, is going to not only suffer from obstructed views once again, but also noise from the street. And one of the negative aspects of 50 Ordnance, as we take a look at the bedroom here, is that its noise insulation from the street is not too good. I've viewed a lot of units in this building. Once again, it has its positive attributes, but the noise really does seep in from the outside, whether it's a western exposure, southern exposure, you're talking about the gardener, you're talking about the street. In my experience, this building does have a problem with outside noise coming in. And it's been on the market for 40 days. And I have to say, in my professional opinion, at $749,000, according to the latest solds in the building, in the area, this is substantially overpriced. Now, it does have its parking and other units that have sold in the building in recent months, in recent weeks, that are 1+1 with 2 washrooms, didn't have parking. But when you make the proper adjustments in terms of the value of the parking spot, it's not enough to bring the price up to $750, $730 even. So I would have to say this is due for another price correction, and there is an opportunity potentially for someone to allow this to collect a little bit more dust at its current price, sweep in, and maybe, you know, negotiate somewhat of a good deal on this property. But those things are really always difficult to tell in advance. It only comes out while you're in the negotiating process and the back and forth. Well, hopefully you enjoyed that video. There's so many other listings I can go through. As I said, upwards of 80 listings in downtown alone for condos, but I can only go through 5. At the end of the day, I don't want to make an hour video. But let me know your thoughts on what I discussed earlier. Would you like to see me live stream some of this? You know, distressed sales, bad sales, price reductions, good opportunities on the market. You know, would you be interested in me live streaming on this channel with regards to the Toronto and GTA real estate market? And that way you can interact with me in real time. So let me know your thoughts on that. As always, let me know if you have any other further questions. Subscribe and follow for more. Thank you very much, sir, for watching. Stay safe and stay tuned. Thank you.